You're listening to Inside Real Estate, your source for all things mortgage and real estate related. The show that brings you all the hottest topics and insights directly from those who know it most. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Had a lot of energy this morning, a lot of talking before the show, a lot of good conversation today. Catching up. We have some old friends in the studio. So what's up, everyone? Paul Apostolakis, Salvatore Kuzmano, Brad Weisgerber. We are Inside Real Estate. Thank you all for subscribing, and please give us a review and all that shit. We have some of our favorite guests. We have you guys on quite a bit. You guys are RCPAs. We have the Angell brothers, John and Joe Angell from Angell and Company.
What's going on?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
We think this is always a really good time, prior to full blown tax season to kind of get you guys in here because people are starting to think about their taxes. They're thinking about if you're self-employed or a real estate agent or any type of commission type of employment, like you're always thinking, man, what's my tax implication? And also just because we had such a big, massive change in tax laws last year, right? I think it's also a good refresher to let people know kind of like, and even for you guys, I'm sure you guys have learned some things over that time period, what works,
Last
what doesn't
year was
work.
crazy.
Last year the code was so fresh and new, learning it on the fly.
Look at
now
the
I think we have it
1040.
Mastered a little more.
Yeah. So now you're living it.
1040's changed.
1040's changed.
It was weird. Even as a loan officer, I remember like looking at the first 1040. I was like, what am I looking at? Like where I didn't like all these years.
So guess what? Guess what? I was at a seminar yesterday.
Yeah.
We're back to the old 1040 pretty much.
What?
Okay. The postcard 1040, the one that you learned last year for 18,
horrible.
gone.
No kidding.
Gone, and now it's new forms
It's
again.
almost like a
New
mesh.
forms. It's a mesh. There's
Why'd they
still
do
some
that?
schedules because
Why did they
the other
do
one was
anything?
so weird and a little more complicated than the other ones.
Wow.
So it's back to a 2-pager with some schedules, so you guys will
Yeah.
have to learn that
They
again.
combined some of those schedules. You know how it was like 1 through 6. They combined like 1 and 2, something like that.
That's
They
very
kinda-
interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So, obviously, like us, so we're self-employed, right? So we start thinking about what's our tax. And I'm like, let's get the Angels in here. We'll just do it on air. So,
Tax projection is going to happen today for you guys. So
we're
Live on Facebook.
Yeah.
So how can we evade taxes, guys?
Well, it depends.
I don't like that word. Evasion is not a good.
don't like
minimize
evasion.
tax exposure.
Yeah.
Minimize tax exposure. That's kind of
just
what I like.
pay the fair amount.
Yeah.
right?
I think the big thing, and you said it, like right now, this point, end of the year,
Yeah.
are you guys set up right? I know you are.
Well, you
right?
guys do our stuff.
But
yeah.
you can make entity selections right now. Say you're a realtor, 1099 realtor. Are you set up as an LLC, an S corporation? What's the difference? Make those elections now. You can go retro for all of 2019 and capture the benefits.
So I think that's huge, right? I think for us, we've been very fortunate to have you guys in our corner from the very beginning when we started our business. You guys really have advised as well. I think it's really borderline crazy, guys, that like, some people in the industry, self-employed, they do their own taxes, or like anybody that anybody that does their own taxes. I realized I used to do the TurboTax thing, and but I realized that I was doing myself an absolute disservice not having professionals do my taxes.
Yeah.
But the same reason I don't do my own mortgage,
Right.
or try to sell a house. That's what you guys do best. It's cliche. This is what we do.
Yeah.
CPAs with our masters, been doing it for almost 20 years, licensed in all 50 states.
Yeah.
This is our sweet spot. Self-employed people, small businesses.
It's interesting. You guys are licensed in all 50 states, so anybody listening,
We got
can call
people
you guys.
all over.
What's
Yeah.
crazy
We
is
got
is
businesses
that
all over.
anyone can file their taxes. You don't need to use a CPA.
You don't.
Right?
No.
So you can go online to TurboTax. You can have, Jimmy the tax wizard or whatever do them.
Do them out of the back door.
It is
of his,
one of the wildest
the
things.
back shop.
That's crazy.
Which, sometimes
Zara's
that's
tax
fine.
prep.
Okay.
That's out there, I think. Yeah.
That was a quick job there.
You've heard of them.
Yeah.
So
let's
that
move
is
along
strange.
here.
You can anybody can prepare a tax form. Anybody. You don't have to be certified in any way.
Yeah.
No, that's correct. Anyone can sign it. Your mom can sign
That's
it. You
wild.
can self-prepare it. That's right.
Wow, that's interesting.
What happens in that case if they get audited?
Then they're responsible.
The person that prepared it?
Not necessarily.
they're
So the
not.
person that
It's always the taxpayer.
It's the taxpayer signing off. There's tax-related accuracy penalties that can get put
That could
on
hit
us,
us,
the preparers, that kind of stuff. But no, the audit is the taxpayer. Again, if you're ever audited, recommend contacting us.
Yeah.
We try not to have our clients get audited, but we've been through them.
Well, that's why you use a CPA as well, because we're going to limit an audit chance from the beginning.
Yeah, 'cause
right. You're going to
you
come to
understand
us.
the triggers.
where we can
We
go,
know
where
where
we
to
can't
go.
go.
Yeah.
Again, we want to minimize exposure.
Yeah.
But an illegal Our thing, we call it legally aggressive.
Right.
Right. Illegally, we want to kind of that line's there, but we're not crossing over. it.
Trump it up.
Yeah.
The tax laws and the tax codes are out there. You got to,
guys put it out there pretty clear. Like, hey,
yeah. And we tell them, someone will
gotta
come
pay
to me and be like,
taxes,
hey, this
man.
is
Like, you
your
have to pay
stuff. I mean,
taxes.
you have to pay something.
Yeah,
right?
just so you know, John
Unless
did
you're
our-
Amazon.
John did our projections, and he's like, "You guys are effed, right?" Like, you're like, "Okay, we're gonna do it." So it's real. Like, you do have to look. If you make money,
It
in
comes
this
with
world,
it, though.
you
I would say
have
it's a
to.
good thing, right?
John calls me. You sitting down, Brad?
Yeah.
Got two things for you. You guys did really
Look, if
well.
you're paying
this year.
taxes, that means you're making money. And that's,
There you
that's
go.
how it
When you
works.
get to that next level and
It
those
depends on
those checks you're writing are bigger,
Yeah.
your business just got that much bigger.
Yeah.
That's how you have to look at it.
You also have to look at the implications of paying taxes, which suck, right?
Yep.
But not the implications, but what comes from it is being able to do stuff, right? Being lendable.
Right.
There you go.
right.
What you
It
show
goes
on
with
that
the
tax
mortgage, right?
return goes
For-
back to what you
For
guys
our
do. You
business,
know,
we show profits.
Right.
That's
Right.
healthy, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, when you do your own taxes, you're like, all right, sweet, I'm getting a refund,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And then you get everything else kind of blows up when it comes time to be lendable.
And
That's
people
right.
get,
Right.
speaking of those refunds with the tax changes, people get caught up in that refund. A lot of times last year, those refunds weren't like they used to be because the withholding brackets changed, so people weren't sending in more tax over the year. So then when it came tax time, like, what the heck? I normally get this much back. And it's like, well, hold on.
You didn't pay into it
How
as
much
much.
did you pay in
Look
compared to
at
the prior
total
year?
tax
And they
paid.
paid in less.
There you
They
go.
literally paid in less, but
Yep.
it's still,
It
that's
feels
where it makes
different.
it's
I can
difficult for
tell
us
you
sometimes
this.
too, because people just get enamored with that refund.
Yeah.
It's like you
Absolutely.
paid less tax.
I was gonna go buy a TV,
you know?
or I was gonna. Right,
They don't understand.
99%
They almost
of
use the
my
IRS
book.
as a savings account.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
you
that
know.
people think, like a W-2 employee, that their taxes come out of their check and they're paid right then. It's like an escrow account.
They don't
right?
understand
It's
that.
like
Exactly.
held with the IRS essentially, and then it's all.
And that's what I try to tell them
Yep.
too. It's like you're almost giving the IRS an interest-free loan, right?
right.
You know, but they'll hit you on interest and penalties.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Very rarely do you see interest get paid back when
No.
they mess up a refund
No,
or
I
something
saw
like
that,
that.
IRS building in DC.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The ideal tax situation, as John's
It's like
saying,
the
is
Parthenon.
kind of a break even. People want these big refunds, but that's your money. Put that to work. And when
Yeah, you
stock
should have
markets
it,
are
yeah.
doing 15, 20%, you should hold on to that. End of the day, when you file, owing zero, both to the IRS and state, is the perfect tax
That means you did
plan.
perfect. Yeah,
That's
everything was
right.
perfect. You got to
gotta
hold
be
on
like-
your money.
But
Impossible to
every
do.
taxpayer is different, though.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what makes our thing difficult. Is some people want to be that perfect amount by the end of the year, changing estimates each time. Other people, I just want to pay the minimum, make sure I'm penalty proof, and I'll deal with it come tax time.
Yeah.
Other people, I rather give the IRS more money than
Not have to worry
I
about it.
have, and
Yeah.
then get a big refund at the end of the
And
year. So
then
we have to bounce
Other people
around with
get
different.
calls at
That's
the end of the
critical,
year saying,
too.
"Hey, you
Yeah.
sent in zero,
Yeah, yeah.
Sal."
What John?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're gonna. Oh,
You should think about
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
John-
beg, just send in one estimate. I'm telling you, because it'll
I'm
cut.
like,
It'll,
no, man.
it makes that big check at the end of the year. Not, just send in something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And what John just said is critical. Penalty proof, send in something. The realtors, even some of the high end mortgage people, are you paying quarterlies throughout the year? I'm not going to do it. Well, guess what? That's one penalty that we can control.
Yeah.
There's an underpayment of estimated tax penalty.
Is it
They want their
10%?
money quarterly. It fluctuates and it's tiered and it depends on what you owe, how much you earn, and that kind of stuff.
We're gonna have to do
but
that
if you
this
know,
year.
send in the quarterlies. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
It saves you money.
But
period.
being
That's
set
right.
up as a business the correct way too, being able to W-2 yourself, right? And
right.
withholding taxes that way, or sending in above
And that's kind of a little
additional estimates.
niche out there too, that with the W-2, you could send in as much tax that you want, let's say in December on your W-2. That actually counts when you file your tax, like you sent them in money throughout the entire year. So
Right.
it's a little trick out
Most
there as
people,
well.
most people don't even understand the whole W-9 or withholding form. Like,
No, that's right. Starting now.
85% of new hires don't. They
Well,
come
they
to me.
almost
They're
make
like,
it like
like,
it's
what
Poor
does
kids
this
in our
mean?
office,
What do I
we call it
claim? I
zero.
don't understand. I'm like, I can't really give you advice on this, but this is what it means.
Claiming 9 because my dog and my cat, and we're like, no, you can't do that.
Poor
Yeah,
guy in our
that's it.
office said he was tax exempt.
Yeah, he checked the box for tax exempt.
Well, I mean,
They
that's
withhold
that means
zero.
You can
taxes.
do that.
do that.
It's just
You're
you
just
can
gonna
do
write
that.
the check at
Maybe
the
he
end of the
wants to
year.
control.
Well, he
it.
didn't know that.
No. He did it.
He
on
thought
his
that
He had no
uh,
idea.
Yeah.
So when he did his
What
taxes
made
this
him
year, he's
think
like,
he was
bro,
tax exempt?
Nothing. He's an idiot.
we love him, but dude, his checks were even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
I love a good even
at the end
check.
of the year, he's like, I owe money. How do I owe money? I'm like, dude, we looked at it like nothing got took out of your taxes.
You filled out the form.
You didn't ever notice
I did
that.
it appropriately.
Like, you
Withheld
didn't notice
zero.
that.
Well, what's funny, and again, I'm not trying to talk down to anyone, but a lot of people don't look at their paycheck, right? A lot
No,
of people
they
don't,
just get
which I
whatever
get
they
it.
get.
Like we're in taxes, so like we're just around it all
It's
the
like even
time.
looking at, like,
you
a
know,
credit
but
card
some
statement,
people
you're
just
just like,
don't.
there's
You
the
know?
balance
And they got
on the
other stuff
paycheck.
going on. You got family, you got your own work, stuff like that. I understand why taxes go by the wayside for some people, right? But once you hit a certain level, it's got to become a priority.
Yeah.
Right.
I noticed that there's a new form in our HR portal for a new W-9 form.
Don't hit us with
Yeah.
something, Brad. I
No,
know
they
you get
they
Rain
update
Man
you
on us
with new
sometimes, and I
W-9s,
don't-
W-4s. They're constantly updating those.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the
There's like
same.
stuff on it.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
So
But,
listen,
yeah.
So a lot of real estate agents listen to our show, surprisingly. So if I'm a real estate agent, I had a bang up year.
People
right?
listen to your show.
Yeah, that's weird. Like
yeah.
four,
It's
like
of them,
4 or 5,
four or
yeah.
5 of them.
Yeah.
And they did really well. They probably might be the first or second year doing really well. They don't really understand how to like manage their finances. That's you guys probably see that all the time.
A lot. Let
Yeah.
me tell you, that jump from year 1 to 2, 2 to 3 in
Yeah.
the real estate business,
Yeah.
that's where we really kind of become critical.
Okay.
How are you set up? Have you selected an entity? A lot of people have not. Are you paying quarterlies? Business deductions. Talk about real estate business deductions. Anything that a realtor can justify as
Yeah.
a business expense, he can use as a write-off. Okay, car insurance, the vehicle, telephone, computers, iPads,
All those ads,
internet,
entertainment.
marketing,
Certain
you
types
know,
of entertainment.
certain types of entertainment. That's last year you heard, oh, meals are alive, entertainment's gone. 274E, a section of the IRS code. There's some updates there.
2704.
274E. No, yeah,
Bob.
just
I like
drop it.
that
Yeah,
drop.
listen,
God.
updates, some entertainment, your holiday party,
Yeah.
entertaining people, 100% deductible.
When it's
Okay?
around a certain like scenario, right?
If I
you're
get
traveling
audited,
to a
I want you to
conference
come with me.
and
There's
you go,
another new one.
Yeah, if you're at like a conference,
We're in
traveling,
Vegas.
and you entertain while at that conference, it's deductible.
Deductible.
Where in reality, like if me and you just go to Top Golf now, technically the food would be okay, but the golf portion wouldn't.
Meals
If
were
you
still
go-
good,
if
but
you
What if
go-
we did our holiday party at Top Golf?
100% deductible.
100% deductible. Where a lot of people
What
are
if
saying,
you had
oh,
a holiday party
entertainment's
all year
gone.
at the Rock
there's
on
some
Third?
there's some tweaks in
And
there.
it's
There's some tweaks in there.
And it's exactly. And they said, holiday parties and like summits, right? So like if let's say your business does like a getaway 2 or 3 times a year, I think it would be you can take that position with the IRS to deduct that 100% if anything came up.
No doubt.
So how do you,
It's a lot of gray area with the IRS.
It's a lot of
And like
gray-
you
A
were
lot of
saying,
great.
you
Well,
can
you
take
can
positions.
justify as a business expense. You file that tax return knowing, hey, if it gets looked at, we're gonna go to
gonna
bat
have
for
this
you, and we're gonna
conversation,
say,
yeah.
hey,
This is how
no,
we're gonna
here's
explain it.
why he's taking his cell phone. Pull up the cell phone bill. It's 80% business. I mean, I'm on the phone a lot for work. How about you?
That's all I use it
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
That and porn.
Yeah,
how
I'd
do
love
you
to turn
how do
it
you
off, but I
justify
can't.
Yeah.
how do you justify that if it does get looked at? Like how do you
It's
what do
an
you show for
argument.
proof?
It's an
Like,
argument. No, we
we,
show.
we did a summit. Okay, well what do you get to prove?
Let's
There
start
was-
with
right? How do you do-
receipts. Start with receipts.
So you could pull
You
a
know,
bill that
show
shows all the
travel
outgoing
of you
calls.
and your employees all going to the same place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something you got to have some type of backup like that. Again, it depends on the auditor too. Depends what kind of deduction you're taking, right? If it's wild, they're going to really look into it, right? If it's in Jamaica for $100,000,
Damn.
It's got to
something's
make sense.
gonna
It's got to
look
be
into
in
that,
line. The
you know?
expenses have to
See
be in
tickets
line,
for
and that
everyone,
goes
right?
back to where we can go and where we can't go. You're not going to get a $100,000 1099 as a realtor and then write off 150 grand. That doesn't make sense, right? It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense.
yeah, we want to limit it, but then it's also like you got to think of they're going to look at your bills, right? Well, you've been paying your mortgage the whole time. Well, how are you doing that if you're operating at like a massive loss?
They look at
right?
your bills?
Well, it depends if they're going to,
If
they'll
they
look
do,
at
If you're
it.
getting
If
audited,
getting
they can
do whatever they
request.
want.
Really?
The IRS can request whatever they want, and you has
Like
as
a
a
credit
taxpayer
report?
that you have to release that
I
information
don't know.
to
I've never
them.
seen that.
How bad is an audit?
It's not that bad.
I think it
It
depends on
depends on the agent.
think
It
it
depends
depends
on
on
the
how-
taxpayer. Some taxpayers are
how
stubborn.
big a shit are you in.
Right.
That's right.
And some
It's
taxpayers
like,
are super
for us,
organized.
I'd feel like it wouldn't be that bad.
Because you have good guidance.
Well, you got Brad,
The
too.
write-offs that we're doing, your books are clean,
Yeah.
your QuickBook file's clean. You have a file.
You have nothing
that
to worry
ties
about
to your
if you did
tax
everything
return.
right. No
doubt.
You have
As
receipts.
long as you have it all right.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
yeah,
right.
if you do all the
Hand it
things right,
over.
yeah.
I've had a lot of audits come through. A lot of audits are random. Agent comes in. Hey, let me see the QuickBook file. Here you go. Tax return.
Right.
They come back. No change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
when
have
they
it.
use
okay, we feel
Zara's
good
about that.
tax
You did a good
service, though, I'd
job.
have to
Yeah.
worry.
Mhm.
If
What's that?
if
You're
I
welcome,
use
guys.
Zara's tax service that we were talking about earlier, like,
Right.
yeah, you'd be.
That guy
like,
doesn't know what he's doing.
I remember
Yeah,
the
but yeah.
first time I did it. My taxes on by myself when I had made some money. It was like I got like a crazy refund. He's like, got a computer? I'm like, no. He's like, well, I got receipts for him, so you got a computer.
He had his own receipts for you.
Yeah, I was like, sweet.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I didn't know what I was doing.
we
I
don't
was
get
a-
that service.
And I was a W-2 and I itemized.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, we see that. I mean, not as much now with the new standard deduction.
Can you talk about that?
Unreimbursed
What's the difference?
expenses.
Because back in the day, we'd itemize a lot.
Sure.
But now itemization's kind of gone away.
Well, those unreimbursed business expenses for W-2 people are gone.
Yeah.
And then the property tax and state income tax limit got stopped at 10,000. So that stopped a lot of the itemization.
Four
Yeah.
things you can itemize now: those salt taxes,
Yeah.
medical, donations, which is 60% of your adjusted gross income now up, and mortgage interest. Those four things are the only itemized deductions.
Other
You're
little
comparing
ones that go in there,
those.
but those are the major ones.
Yeah, those are you're comparing that to the new higher standard deduction. Married filing jointly, 2019, that deduction's 24,400.
Okay.
Okay.
very
So
hard to get
those
over that.
itemized have to be bigger than that standard.
Got it.
A lot of people take the standard, but that's different than the business expenses. People get that confused. Your business income and expenses, that's one category. Itemized deductions and a standard deduction is
personal-
different.
yeah, yeah.
It's different.
And what do you guys suggest? Like, if I'm a real estate agent, should I be an S corp? Should I be an LLC? What do you?
I'd
all
always start
income.
with an LLC though too.
Yeah.
I'd start with an LLC because it's got to make sense, right? If you don't have a lot of income, it doesn't make sense to switch to an S corp because you got to put yourself on wages anyway, and basically that profit is going to be the same as whatever you put
You got payroll
yourself on
taxes,
W-2,
things like
right?
that, right?
yeah.
Gross income is my indicator, my rule of thumb. Your gross 1099, when do we switch over? Anyone who's in real estate should probably start with an LLC. Single member LLC, you can still file Schedule C on your personal return. That protects your business activity. Then when you cross over, I say about 150,000 gross. That's the magic number where I switch you over to an S corp, issue a small, reasonable compensation to the officer because you have to per the IRS regs,
Right.
and then that's when you go S corp. And the S corp's huge. John, tell them the difference between S corporations and Schedule Cs.
So the S corp, the big thing with a Schedule C is you have Social Security and Medicare tax on whatever bottom line your business makes. Okay, so it's huge. That kills you. It's 15.3%. It's
Self-employment
killer.
tax,
It's killer.
SE tax,
Yeah.
it's called.
Well, if you have an S corp, whatever your profit is, you don't have any Social Security and Medicare on that. You just have Social Security and Medicare on your wages that you pay yourself.
Got it.
Okay, so you can
employees.
kind of
Cut that in half.
Separates it.
But those
Right.
wages and taxes also become a deduction to your bottom line.
Right.
Realtors are taxed gross income minus expenses equals a net number. New with the tax reform, you get another 20% deduction, let's say, most of you,
Right.
called a QBI deduction. So you have a new net number. That's what you're paying tax on. S corporation, no SE tax, saving 15.3%. Same number over here, paying 15.3%. But you have wages and some payroll taxes here. Again, that's why it's what number you earn makes sense. But it's easy. Hey, my 1099 is going to be over 150. I should be probably thinking S corporation.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
There's just more stuff to go with it. You got to get on those wages. Payroll's not exactly the easiest thing. Reasonable compensation's a funny number to get to. It just makes it a little funkier. Schedule C is just more cut and dry, but there's usually more tax involved.
Right.
Now you can usually defer money into retirement plans easier with the Schedule C because it's earned income based.
Yeah.
So that's somewhere to go as well. Another trick out there is you could do a partnership. A lot of people are married. A lot of times their wives help them with the business, right? She could be a limited partner.
Or husbands.
Yep, more husbands. Exactly. Sorry about
right.
that. Was that misogynistic?
throwing it out
Completely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's just,
There we go.
So I was just using my
There we go.
own wife.
Yeah,
so
I got
for
it.
me, Yana, how are you? Yana?
Just a bunch of dudes around the table.
Yeah,
Yeah, for locker
you
room
can
talk.
put a partner can be a limited partner. If you're a limited partner,
Yeah.
that income's taxed just like an S corporation. There's no
really?
Social Security and Medicare on that.
Yeah, 50% the
Do they get a
taxpayer.
K1?
Yep.
Yep.
So you just put them as whatever partner under.
And a lot of times these
51%,
spouses,
51.49.
not necessarily wives, they're helping with
do
the
help.
businesses,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
They're
Well,
helping
they
with the
do,
business.
yeah.
There's a lot of teams out there. I deal with a lot of great real estate teams.
Yeah.
But you
Husband and wife. Yeah.
To be limited, you're not fully active. You're not fully participating. You don't
Right.
put the hours in. It'd be like
But
if she
with
has a
that being
W-2
said-
job. Yeah.
With that being said, too, you must think if you are looking to buy a house
Mhm.
in the next 2 years, the implications of doing so, right?
Mhm.
If
no
you-
doubt.
you have your wife that
Right. If you're not going to
you
be
put as a
together on it.
50%,
Yep.
just for your taxes, right? And now,
No.
hey, I want to buy a house. Her credit is junk or whatever, right? It's like,
And that's the thing
now you
too.
gave 50% of
There's
your income.
implications to everything. You know, we've got there. You know, as we grow, we see more and more clients and more types of just situations. Lower tax, yeah, we love that, but there's just so many more things that come with it, right?
Yeah, now
I
you're
have
not financeable.
right. You know, I have a construction
Right.
company of ours. You know, they have to get bonded, right? So their financials need to look a certain way. Which way do you weigh more? Is it low tax or are you trying to get bonded, right?
But we
That's
have
why
our-
to get,
Sal, we work these deals a lot on the mortgage side or when people need financing. 2 years, you show what income you need to show, but guess what? Auto, depreciation.
Yeah.
What happens to those, Sal?
they get added
They
back.
get added back. So you get
Certain
to take
expenses.
the deduction, pay a little less taxes, but we know that you're adding them back for your equation.
Right.
We work a lot of deals like that. It's
Well,
very critical.
And
if you're gonna-
sometimes it's, hey, you've got 20% to put down. You're going to put down 15 or 10% and pay the rest in taxes so I can do this loan for you.
right there you go.
The IRS isn't going to slap your hand for paying
But
more money.
we don't do that because that's coaching. So that's a
Yeah,
advice
no,
from your
right.
CPA.
Right.
Well, it'd be one,
We
I
can
mean,
guide.
Wait,
we
you
can
guys
guide.
aren't
At the end of
allowed
the
to
day, it's their real
Tell
numbers.
people like to help them with their loan.
We can't coach people on how to file
How to
taxes.
file the
Can't
taxes.
coach
We're not
people.
But we
You
can-
have to take the numbers.
I
We
can
can say
tell
you
them
talk to your
what they need
CPA
to
about
see.
what you got to do to show more income.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and we work a lot of
Sal
deals
tells
like
me
that.
what to tell them.
No, he doesn't.
Kinda.
No, he doesn't.
So
Just
so
kidding,
it's funny,
guys.
Sal. Like, think about how many tax forms we've seen in our like
Yeah.
16 years
So
I've been doing
many.
this, 17 years,
I
whatever.
got some
There's
really
some crazy
I've
ones.
looked at
fun stuff
I've
to do
looked
today.
at like thousands and thousands of actual 1040s and tax forms, and I still don't know like anything about actual
Well,
tax
because the
preparation.
1040
I don't
tells
know.
It's complicated,
It is.
and it's changing.
It is complicated.
Every year, there's slight changes. Regs
Yeah.
change. Just now, new in 19, the 1040 form that you got used to looking at last year in 18,
Yeah.
that's changed again. Like I said,
Here's the
yeah.
thing: when you talk to
Last year's like an alien
90%
form.
of your clients, what's this expense? I don't know.
Oh, my CPA did it.
yeah.
Do you have a mortgage open? I don't know. We don't have a mortgage. Says you do.
Which is
Yeah.
wild.
That's
Says
weird.
you do.
Yeah.
That's weird because you make the payment every month.
Is your house an
Right.
investment property? No. Oh, that's
Well,
weird.
no, like on like for example, like a balance sheet, right?
Yeah.
I always see mortgage notes and bonds payable less than 1 year, and I'm like, well, did you pay off the mortgage? Like, I've never had a mortgage on my building, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, well,
Oh, you
Okay.
claimed you did.
And that can
Yeah.
be confusing too, because it depends on the preparer. The preparer could have put like their credit card liability
Right.
under
In
that
there.
line
They
Right.
could've
or
just
something.
the
done
you know?
1040
wrong.
tells a story of everything grouped together under line items, right? So, and it's funny because after understanding what a 1040 is, you kind of see like how their business works, right? To a degree, like, all right, they're real heavy on like,
Meals and entertainment at the Rock.
Do you guys,
right, or cost of goods sold or whatever,
Or
right?
whatever
Like
it
if
may
it's like a
be.
manufacturing company,
Do
right?
you guys ever see like I was young, I was like working at Quicken, I didn't file my taxes for 3 years. I really didn't. I just was like, fuck it, I don't.
That
Or like 8 years.
that does not surprise me.
No,
at
we
all.
do a lot of
Yeah.
A lot of
taxpayers
back
that haven't filed.
That's
Come
right.
the new year,
Yeah.
I get a lot of calls. Hey, what are my resolutions? I got to get this straight.
true. It's
I haven't
wild.
filed in 15 years. But listen, here's the thing. We can get a CPA power attorney, request transcripts for any taxpayer
Yeah.
all the way back to current point 18. See
Yeah.
exactly what's been filed in your SOCH, and we can recreate the taxes. People get scared. Oh, I moved. I lost my tax documents. What do you do? we can make it really simple.
You
You,
can go
see a
all the way
lot of
back
that.
to
We see a
09.
lot
You
of
know
those.
something funny
How can
is
someone
if
get
you don't
audited
if you don't file
and
your
pay,
taxes,
and then some people just don't file taxes?
Well, it's just like, I mean, people do crazy stuff.
I was
right?
young, dude.
I mean,
was
I
like,
get
was
that,
like, I didn't
but
know.
they don't get a letter in the mail like, hey,
No, they
here's
get
your social
letters.
It
security.
depends. A lot of
No.
people that didn't owe.
Yeah.
See, listen, guess what? Your refunds,
I got
they
money
drop
back.
off
Disappear.
every 3 years,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
There's a statute on your refunds. If you're a W-2 person and
Yep.
you haven't filed,
Exactly.
you probably have money out there. They're not going to tell
got
you,
money.
hey, Salvatore, we owe you some money. Get your tax. They don't. They're
When
not
I
gonna-
filed, I got money back, and I was like, oh, they're like, yeah, because of W-2.
the IRS will actually file a return on your behalf, which is something I found out last
wild.
year or 2
And
years
it
ago.
never goes in that
Yeah.
taxpayer's
And it-
favor.
there's
no
no deductions,
Yeah.
and it's the worst case
It's just a
scenario.
straight 1099
Yeah.
that's on the
Wild.
schedule.
That's
C.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, don't run away from that problem. Talk to a CPA. Talk to these guys.
No, we can help you out. I get it. Taxes are scary, and it's funny. So many times I sit down with people, and they're like, "Oh my god, I feel so much better after
feel
talking."
better.
You know?
This was
but it's
easy,
just
and
like
that's
what we do, and we're used to
gotta
it.
make you
so
feel
just
good.
come in, we'll take care of you. You know.
Yeah, we try to be practical too.
Yeah.
You know, talk in your terms.
I don't want them to be
I have a
scary
deduction
situation.
checklist for every industry out there, every sector. Here's a checklist. Oh, wow, Joe, this is great. Go through, fill out the checklist. We're going to maximize those deductions. You know, so
How often
yeah.
do you guys see taxes and like they're prepared by somebody else? You get their whole book and you're like, hold on a second. Like they like
Three
things are pretty.
files.
I'm not going to throw it's yeah, we see returns that can always be worked on better, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say sometimes the books that we see sometimes,
Yeah.
like whoever the internal bookkeeper or they're doing the bookkeeping themselves
controller,
come to us.
yeah.
It's wild. Some of the stuff we see. I mean,
Yeah.
just I don't even know how it got. to
Well,
where
most
it got,
people want to
you
do their
know?
own books, so they don't know what they're doing, right? They don't have a Brad who's like a savant, like this quick.
I'm telling you,
Brad makes it that internal controller
It's
position.
huge.
It's great.
If you're gonna
Brad
have a
does such
business,
a
you
good
need a
job.
controller. Yeah.
No,
I was
it does
about to
because
say,
the books come to us. They're at a level. We make some adjustments, plan out your quarterlies.
Like we
and that
offer
kind of
bookkeeping,
stuff.
we do a lot of bookkeeping for clients, but once you hit a certain level, I mean, obviously I want as much service as I
Gotta
can.
have it internal.
Internal controller is going to be better for your business.
Yeah,
You know,
because they're on the day to day.
you're on the day to
going
day.
on. Yeah,
Stuff doesn't slip through the cracks.
Not only for tax purposes,
Yeah.
but just being able to look and understand your business. How are we doing this quarter compared to last quarter? Be able to pull reports. Where are we spending too much money
It's
on?
nice to
What-
say, hey, don't go to the bar today.
Brad's
Yeah.
QuickBooks are
It's-
insane.
yeah.
If,
They
you,
are
if, you,
insane.
if you're running your business blind, they're not
amazing.
having good
No.
bookkeeping. You-
And that's a good
crazy.
point too. At this time of the year, it's a good time for us to look at your situation. My current clients, they know where they stand already.
Yeah.
April 15th of 2020.
We're ready for
this
it.
is
Yeah.
so we plan out the end of the year. Did you make the quarterlies? Did you make the right
you make the
election?
quarterlies?
Yeah.
Did you make
no, but
the
this is truthful.
quarterlies?
It's a good time to talk to us. A good time to talk to us
Yeah.
before the end of the year.
Before Christmas, and then we go on a trip. So you got a couple days.
No, the whole thing is being prepared. Like, dude, this is like a lot of money. I think what a lot of people there's a lot of anxiety with this stuff, right? People just have a lot
People
of anxiety.
fear the
I'm
unknown.
anxious
They
just
fear
talking
the
about it.
unknown.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's
We're
it.
just in it, you know. So it's like normal to us. Right?
And the other thing is that's crazy. I think like people want to save the $300 or $500. How much is it to get your taxes prepared by you?
It varies.
It varies,
It
whatever,
varies.
yeah.
You have
Depends on
personal
how
returns,
Sure.
business returns.
Let's call it $500,
the level of service,
$1,000, whatever the fuck
whatever
it is.
it may
Yeah, I'd
be.
say that's a good. You know,
250 sometimes.
Yeah,
It depends.
on
It's
the
all our
person,
time.
who they
It's our
came
time.
from.
But
you know.
that money is so like it's going to protect you, give you peace of mind, and you probably will either get better tax preparation, and you'll know where you're at. It's not worth it.
And
to do
it's
yourself.
done right.
Yeah.
It's done without an audit
You'd be
risk.
surprised. You go to H&R Block, it's just as expensive, right?
Yeah.
And you're not getting the full
Right.
on service.
But
It's
It's
not
crazy.
dealing with a CPA there.
So when we'll go to
You
H&R
go through a
Block and
QuickBook
spend
or-
$750, and you tell them it's $1,000, and they're like,
No, they go crazy.
Go
Like,
through-
well, I did not know. It was like I always just say, hey,
Over
I
250
guarantee
bucks.
that increase in professional fees is the tax savings going to way outweigh it. You
Yeah.
know, and I do as much as I can, right? But
You go
some people
through
get
your
caught up on that
TurboTax.
number. You know, it's just like anyone.
Go through
Yeah.
TurboTax, it says file your whatever free, but by the time you get all the way through the end and all the
Right.
little prompts, they stop you like every couple forms.
yeah.
You end up paying $250 anyway. Go
it's
to a
also
professional.
tax deductible, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Also a good
Say that
time to
again. Yeah, it
good
is.
time to pay your accountants. We could take end of the year, get that deduction in, get it
You
in
guys
before
wanna-
the end
you
of
guys
the
wanna
year.
prepay
You
it?
can
Jab at me.
prepay your retainer.
That's
Do you want
not
to
a jab
prepay
at
that?
me. You're paid.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Just in general.
If you want to
in
knock out
general.
2020 right now, get that tax deduction. Let me know.
That's a good
Talk
point.
about
Listen, for business deductions, it always comes up. People are like, business deductions. Let's say, Joe, I spent $1,000. Roughly, every $1,000 a business owner spends will save you about $300 in taxes. Okay,
On a
so you're
certain
weighing
earner.
the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good rough estimate. So you're buying a car for 10 grand, right?
Yeah.
$3,000 tax savings. Car really only costs you $7,000.
Oh, wow.
So kind of 30%,
that. Yeah.
30% on
Yeah.
business deductions. It comes up a lot. People ask that.
Right.
Unless
great.
it's meals and entertainment.
You're right.
Yep.
What is
Right.
We
50%.
have a lot of meals of
A lot of you guys have a lot of promotion
Yeah.
and outings, which is 100%
Team
deductible.
meetings, yeah.
50% on the meals. So
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
What was that thing you said? You said if you open it to the public, right?
you have an event open
Yeah.
to the public. Sales going to put on a nice bowling gala.
Right.
All him and his friends. Yeah, they're going to bowl. They're going to bowl, but it's
Yeah.
open to the public. 100% deductible
So,
on the
so if we go to the
entertainment
bar as a team, and the bar's open to the public, but
We,
have
we
a
bought the
team-
dude at the bar a shot.
Yeah, is that a public?
Can we
event?
justify
We'll try to
that?
take that.
business
We'll try to take that
expense? I don't-
position.
Yeah,
Try to take that position.
we can talk about it
Another
off
thing
the air.
too,
We'll do it
on the
off the air.
write-offs too.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, some people like can't sleep because they're thinking about writing off like their dry cleaning, and it's like it's not worth it.
how
You're not,
important-
you know,
Can't
you're
write
not,
off dry cleaning.
You
by the
can't
way.
write it off, right?
Non-deductible. Yeah.
But like, if you think about how much your dry cleaning bill is for the year and the tax savings on it, why even? Who cares?
Yeah,
Don't even
today's
need to
about
write
it,
it
yeah.
off.
So
You know,
my dad, right, is always like, he would be like saving every receipt, right?
Yeah.
Like, how important is that nowadays with everything being electronic?
I think it
That's a great
doesn't
question.
hurt. It's tough,
Want to hear
man.
something weird?
Yeah.
So the IRS haven't updated their regs on that since the 80s. So nowadays you have credit cards, you have QuickBook files, you have bank statements, everything's electronic. Still per their regs, you need a physical receipt. The last couple audits I was in, they didn't ask for them.
So-
but per the regs, you still need it.
So I
Then you
shouldn't.
had that one though. They were crazy about receipts.
that
remember?
I had one, and
yeah.
she was a nut.
They wanted
and
travel, like who was on the tickets, and
They wanted,
really?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
documentation.
trying to
Yeah,
nail
it
to the
depends
cross.
on what agent. Yeah.
But I think it's they can sniff like, oh,
Something's going
This
on.
taxpayer
This
was
was a
greedy.
high earner. He was greedy.
We didn't
They-
file the taxes.
they-
We handled the audit. The tax preparer went crazy aggressive. He was a high earner. He had a bad attitude, and
They
she
could
said,
get a
"You know
lot- they
what?
could recoup
We're
a
going to
lot."
go
Yeah,
after him.
yeah.
We're going to go after
So
him."
I shouldn't shred the piles and piles and piles of receipts. That I
No,
have.
like obviously, just throw them somewhere. Get them somewhere. Put them in a
So I
closet.
don't have to
If ever comes,
organize
just
them?
Pull it out.
If we
I
ever
mean,
need 'em, I can
organizing
just drop 'em
helps.
to you guys?
Organizing help. Don't drop anything to me. Leave it at your office.
Keep in mind, like I said, the last couple audits, it's so electronic and automated. They'll come in, let me get a copy of your QuickBook file, right? They start there, and then they ask for certain things. They haven't been asking for receipts, bank statements, credit card statements, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's changing. You'd think that they need to update the regs.
Yeah,
on
do
that.
you guys, speaking of
Well, they're
which,
continually defunded too.
The IRS is the lowest number of employees in the history of this country
not
per
bad.
our president.
Really?
I think it's right where he wants them.
Yeah.
it is.
You know,
Yeah, he's
so,
like,
yeah.
let's not look at those taxes. Speaking of which, do you guys? I mean, do you guys see any more changes coming down the pipe, or are we
Yeah.
just kind of where we're at?
So this reform's only good through 2022, 2023. Things start to drop off. Come 2022, depending what happens in 2020, the election year,
Yeah.
who gets reelected, this whole thing could be abolished. And let me just tell you, 99% of my book and John's book of business under this reform, not getting political, paid less overall taxes.
Less
It's been pretty.
That's a
it's
big
been
statement.
pretty-
We
it's
have
been
clients
pretty
in
helpful.
40 states,
Yeah.
right? 2,800 business tax filings.
Other than
99
California and New York, I think those are the only ones who haven't really.
Taxes.
Yeah, but on the
property
on the
taxes.
federal side, it was
Yeah.
so low with this QBI
Right.
deduction
Yeah.
that So think about that when you're they're paying less tax, and then what happens? Jobs are coming back. People are reinvesting in their businesses. You're seeing it.
Yeah.
The economy's booming. Jobs numbers at an all-time low right now. So
There's a lot of capital being infused back into the economy by that.
right now,
just overall,
because
right?
they saved on some taxes.
There's some downsides to it too. The government's super underfunded. There's a massive deficit because they don't have the revenue stream coming. I mean, the government
Well,
is
they're wasteful though. Anyway,
super
Yeah.
wasteful.
Yeah.
No, there's a downfall to it. That's right.
We
But
probably-
personally, I love paying less taxes when I can.
Yep.
yeah. What if it makes sense and it's legit?
People
right?
like to pick and choose what they like.
But
from,
actually, on the
president.
other side of it, I'd like to pay a lot of taxes. It means I'm making a lot of money.
There you go.
You
well,
know
not
what
a
I mean?
lot, not a lot, just a good amount.
Just a good amount.
A fair
Yeah.
amount.
Your fair
Reasonable-
share.
My
Your
fair
reasonable
share.
amount.
My fair share.
There
I'd like
you
to pay,
go.
$1 million
You just have
in
to look
taxes.
at your
Yeah.
business too, right?
Yep.
Like for us to keep our obligations to our warehouse lines, and we have to be profitable.
We have to be profitable.
Probably
Yeah.
got to look good. When we
Yeah.
do that compilation at the end of the year, and the equity's got to look right, things like
mean,
that.
it's-
That's why I'm saying it goes
It's
both
the price
ways.
to
Yeah,
play.
we got to get together before you go on Christmas.
Yeah.
By the way.
Hey, so real quick,
been a
so we
while.
talked about realtors,
Yeah.
how they're set up, that kind of stuff. I know you guys deal with a lot of mortgage professionals
Yeah.
too. One thing with the high earning W-2 people, we've been kind of saying, hey, it's a good time to maybe open up an entity, an LLC. A lot of times you can go out there and get some consulting income or speaking engagements. You can use that LLC to write off a lot of those expenses that you lost as a 2106
Why
employee.
you laughing?
Right. I'm
Buy
reimbursed.
buy a school bus and turn it into a party.
Brad had this idea.
Dude,
I
you
heard
would've
this
loved
idea.
it.
No,
It was
someone
genius.
told me it's the
Oh.
worst idea I've ever heard
No,
in
you
my
would
life.
have loved it.
It's actually
They didn't
horrible.
explain it to you right.
You were going to buy a bus and drive it around.
Yeah, and I was gonna buy it in a business name as an LLC or something.
Yeah.
and use those losses to
Sounds like
offset
sounds
some.
like,
You might crush,
sounds like a
like-
hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might crush like
He's
Sounds
like,
like a
I'm going to
hobby.
pick up my
$3,000
friends and go to a
income.
high school football game and drive around. in a
Hobby
bus.
losses are a little bit different. It'd be hard to
know,
justify.
No, this one, no,
business.
you're gonna use promotion, and it was gonna say
Yeah, it's gonna
Omega
be
on it,
great.
right?
No, I'm not putting
and then he
my-
gets
no, man.
Sell advertising space. All the
You
local
guys got a
businesses.
vehicle going.
did.
right?
We bought
a
That's
Mini
sweet.
Cooper.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they did a
Yeah.
good job on that too.
It looked pretty good.
an
huh?
auditor
Yeah.
would say justified.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah,
says
no
Omega
problem.
Lending all over.
Oh, there's no doubt on that.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
What else new? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They're coming after that
2019, their first time ever, there's a question that everybody has to answer on their tax return.
Yeah.
Did you buy, sell, distribute any virtual currency in 2019?
They want to tax you
This
on
is
it.
how the IRS starts. So a couple years ago, they went after foreign bank accounts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
FBARs. People weren't reporting them. They started with the question then had all these requirements, and they started hitting people with penalties. That's new for 2019. Virtual
So how do you?
currency.
So let's say I
It's so
had.
annoying now when we do the taxes, we got to add another question that we ask everyone.
Every single
Every
person.
single person.
So let me ask you this. So let's say
And is
I
their answer, yes, I lost my ass?
Right. Then it's a capital loss.
Ethereum
Capital
or-
loss, just report it.
You report
report it. And a lot of these exchanges,
stock.
forced to report now.
they're reporting
Yeah.
now. So the word is Christmas Eve. This is how the IRS works. Christmas Eve, they're supposed to release 25,000 letters to taxpayers saying, hey,
Merry Christmas.
your name popped up on Coinbase.
Yeah.
Did you report it? Just to worry people and stuff.
Get
So
the fuck
yeah,
out.
yeah. No, that's a rumor right
Hey,
now.
wow.
Yep.
I wanna-
That's how they roll.
I want to ask a good question that we get asked a lot. Because in real estate, right? Like often parents will gift their children
Yeah.
gifts, and they always say, well,
What are the
is
tax
it-
implications?
Yeah, what are the tax implications? And I just generally say, like, you know,
I can
it's
tell you
15.
this, unless the gift's massive. So in 2019, $15,000 any person can gift. So I can gift you 15,
Sometimes
I
it's
can gift you 15, I can gift you
50,000.
15. If it's over the 15, that difference of 35 grand, that comes off what's called their lifetime estate exclusion.
Okay.
It brings it down. Right now, for the taxpayers,
Is it 11.9 if you're single?
11.4. 11
11.4.
million.
And then
11
22 for married.
22.8 if you're married.
Over,
So
over the
That's
lifetime.
only if you're gifting to your children, though, right?
No, gifting anyway. That's
gifting
just your
to the
estate.
estate,
Oh, really?
your
Gifting
estate.
anyway.
So the answer to your question is,
Could you
there's
imagine
very
gifting
li-
22
There's no
fucking
tax,
million
no
dollars?
tax implication
because you'd have to gift over 11 million. Is that what you're saying?
there you go. So you
Oh,
gave
okay.
the
It's a
15,000,
1099.
which is good. 15,000 is good. The 35 comes off that 11.4. So now your estate exclusion is just lower.
If it's over
by that
15,
amount.
you're supposed to file a gift tax return.
Okay.
So that would
I know a lot of
show the
people
IRS
don't.
that it goes. They don't.
No,
that would
you
go
should,
against
though.
the
You
exclusion.
should.
So they can track how much has gone against their estate exclusion.
Got it.
So-
Which is crazy though with the tax laws. That
But
estate
who
exclusion
pays
could
the-
change.
that estate exclusion in
It doubled with
2022 could
Trump.
go down to $1
It
million.
could go back in half.
Yeah, and it's sometimes that drastic, like bonus depreciation on vehicles.
Yeah.
Vehicles comes up. You buy a 6,000-pound vehicle.
Yeah.
Basically, right now, gross vehicle weight,
100%
new and
business use,
used,
though.
new and
I
used,
know.
100% deductible
It
right
is
now.
100% used for the business. He drives back and forth every day.
Yeah.
But guess what? Guess what? That could change.
I
In,
know.
in
Not commuted. We talked
2022,
about this
2022,
conversation.
you could have a zero deduction.
But are you
Fuck it, yeah.
And that's how it
grandfathered in?
rolls.
It's crazy.
So
So
that's already
rolls.
been depreciated. You know.
Well, let's say I give a $5 million gift this year, and next year they put it on 4. What happens to that extra million?
They did what with it?
He's saying like if the state if it changed, right? Like you win
Yeah,
against.
let's
It's
say
the-
Oh,
it's-
you want to guess your lifetime?
yeah.
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 That is
Now
like
my
what
You have to go
lifetime is short.
retroactive on the taxes?
Yeah,
That-
so it would come down
Could be
that
for that
estate
tax year.
exclusion. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
just for that
got it.
tax year.
Yeah.
Got it. That's
So,
wild. Moving
With
targets
that
everywhere
too,
for you
like
guys.
let's say for
Constant,
whatever
it's
reason
always
you
changing.
exceed that
Wow.
So
gift,
it's, yeah.
right? Who pays?
Who pays what?
The gifter or the gift? The
If it's
gifter.
over the limit,
It's who's
The
giving
gifter.
it.
yeah,
That's
it's a
kinda
gifter. So
fucked
then,
up.
and guess what? I'll
Like
tell
they
you
already
right now.
paid taxes on that
estate
money. Why would they have to pay
The
again?
estate tax in this country, if you go over that, the estate tax is super high. Very high estate tax.
Because you got
right
to think
now.
about this, right? It's a gift, right? So if you're gifting it, then it's like on you if there's tax implications. You get what I'm saying there? Or if you're, I know it doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's
but
like
I'm just
double
trying
jeopardy.
to think about it.
It's like, hey, I've already paid money on or taxes on this money, but I understand too that.
well, they try to
often-
get you every which
Yeah,
way.
I mean, they
It's
got
pretty
you
wild.
That's why
kinda
we try to
going,
do our
man.
part each and every year, so that when they
I
do
mean, it's
eventually
crazy.
get you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. A lot of new stuff.
Like,
lot
hey,
of-
I earned all this on the W-2 and already paid taxes on it. I'm going to pay taxes again when I give it to my kid.
how about
Yeah.
when you're older and
If you're
you get
above that, it's
and you're
state
pulling
tax.
Social
It's
Security
crazy.
you're pulling your
And
Social
then,
Security
yeah,
on,
and
they tax you on that if you're over a certain income
well,
level.
guess what? That just changed
It's crazy.
2 nights ago. They
Alimony?
just passed a whole new act. You saw that, right, John?
I hope. Let's see what you're going to
Yeah,
say.
no. So they changed
crazy.
a lot of those rules. So it used to be at 70. Now they bumped that up to 72
70,
with the
oh,
RMDs.
72.
Yeah, and
Oh.
the RMDs and the years. So that kind of stuff's
I know
changing
they
too.
were talking.
Yep,
RMDs?
they just
I don't know what the fuck
Required
required
minimum
minimum
distribution.
distribution. When you get older,
oh,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
money in an account. You're
You gotta pull it
required
out.
to pull it out
Think of
every
the poor
year.
guy chucking out $4,000 out of his check
Mm-hmm.
for alimony, and then his wife has to pay that at the end of the year.
Well, no. So
Right.
it depends on when they filed their divorce.
I don't think poor guy. I'd say
Yeah.
poor. I mean,
Poor.
nice for her. I
Yeah.
mean, right?
Depends on when they
She
filed their
I guess.
divorce
I mean, both
because
ways it's
now
tough.
now
It
it's
is
tough
cut
both
off.
ways, yeah.
Non-deductible
Tough for her.
now.
Yeah, tough for her. She's got to pay taxes.
Not
on
tough
her-
for
no,
her.
not now.
It changed.
Changed.
Everything,
Alimony.
I feel like everything.
Yeah, if you get a new divorce, alimony is not deductible.
A new
It's not
divorce.
can't
income.
deduct
Not
it.
an
It's
old
not
divorce,
income.
but a new
Yeah,
divorce.
there's
tax.
Old-
It's
yeah.
If you're a
taxable.
serial divorcer.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
So at 12/31/2018 was the cutoff. So they had like a record number of divorce filings that month. No, it was because they wanted the deduction on the high
So
alimony.
like if you're paying
Yeah.
alimony
Get outta
before
here.
then, you get it as a deduction. You know, it's like an expense.
Yeah, you get a deduction and come
you
to the
should
other
get something
person.
And the wife's
Bezos
trying to push
got
it
after
past.
that, right?
Bezos
Yeah,
took
yeah.
advantage. You see, his wife's still like number 5 on the list.
Yeah.
After the
Yeah,
it's
they
crazy.
split it up. It's just-
They split it up. He's won by a wild, and she's like 4 or 5
He's like, screw it.
after the divorce.
Screw it, yeah.
He's
She
still
got like
won after
75 billion or.
Billion, dude.
I hope he comes in and buys the
Lions.
Lions.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I hope
Oh,
he-
the Lions? You
the
think he's going to
Lion-
buy them?
Well,
Or just a
the
rumor?
rumor was that he visited the Fords. He wants
Fords
an
aren't gonna
NFL
let
team.
go.
The
Really?
Fords are, yeah.
They're horrible.
Don't even get me
They're
started
horrible.
there.
Buy the
So
Lions and destroy them.
Just Lions.
Close
destroy-
shop.
I don't think
No,
they. Yeah.
he's a
Close
winner.
it up.
That guy doesn't buy stuff. to
Bezos
lose.
will
He would be
turn
a
this-
great
he'll
owner.
probably
he'd be
move
amazing.
them.
Ford Field would be Amazon
move him.
Field. He'd probably move them.
Just our luck.
Our
Just
luck.
our luck.
We lose our
And then
team.
the year next,
They'll
they'll win
win
the
a
Super
Super
Bowl,
Bowl.
like the Ravens in
the
Cleveland.
Browns,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
That's our
real
luck.
quick, I wanted to
Yeah.
get into retirement saving. Like, does that help you tax implication wise?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
We
going
try
in.
to push that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's still your money,
Yeah.
and you get tax savings on it, right?
Right.
And everyone's like, well, Roth, and don't get me wrong, there's good things every way, but
Right.
we don't know what the tax laws are going to be then. We don't know what's going
When
on.
you
I'm
retire,
trying to keep
right.
as much
Today.
money in my pocket currently. Let me do other stuff with it.
Yeah.
I'll cross that bridge when we get there.
It's got to be
right?
a
Realtors?
qualified player.
Qualified player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
realtors, solo 401k, SEP IRA,
Mm-hmm.
dollar for dollar deduction, taking money from this pocket
Putting it
over
in
to
the
this
other pocket.
pocket, deduction, limit on it in 2019, $56,000
pretty
you
high.
can put.
Yeah.
$56,000, that's a lot
Of your own money.
Yeah.
of your own money.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Create
comes
a
right
business
off the top.
deduction.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right, guys, we got to get into 3 questions. I think, did we do 3 questions last time?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
shake it up a bit.
We will.
Yeah. I remember this.
First
Yeah.
question for you guys. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Mine's easy, but go ahead.
No, you go first if it's so easy.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Pizza is so pure.
I
I
could eat
love
pizza for the rest of my life.
I
Never
love
had it.
pizza.
From a
so
specific
good.
place.
Man, it's tough.
Specific. You know, I
that's a
try
tough
not
Every
to
pizza's
compare
different.
great things.
Yeah.
It's like comparing movies. They're great in different ways. Pizza's tough to compare.
One bite.
One bite, every knows the
rules.
rules. Portnoy, he took it right from me, man. He does a good job with that.
It does.
No,
I'd
he
say
really
pizza
does.
too. You know what? Actually, I'd go to a whole nother step. You guys might not know what it is, but it's called spinjuni.
Ooh,
What is
It's a
Yeah.
Italian.
different kind of pizza. It's kind of a Sicilian
Type of
style.
pizza.
Okay.
It's got
All right, you
cloves
got
of
me
garlic
going
in
now.
it. There you go. He knows it. Yeah.
Mark Fest.
A good
Mark.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
good
he likes the
spinjuni
spinjuni.
With
I mean, I can't beat
anchovies.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that's
that's how
really
my grandpa did
That's
it,
really
with
Dago
the
right there.
anchovies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A
You just
good
got Mark
spinjuni,
lathered
man.
up. He's never done that before.
Hunks of fontina
Yeah, that
cheese,
fontina. You get a good
garlic.
hunk.
Oh,
There's
Let's do it
spinjuni.
for lunch.
There's breadcrumb on it, dude. It's crazy. It's like my perfect.
All right. So pizza.
Pizza. I mean, I want some pizza all of
The
a sudden.
day goes like
I mean,
pizza.
listen,
What a
You've got
shocker.
bread. You've got
cheese.
like
It's got everything. It's got all the
good
food
sauce.
groups.
Cold, hot, lukewarm.
I like it cold. Breakfast pizza's the
cold
best.
Pizza, are you
Oh,
kidding me?
breakfast
With
pizza's
ranch, without ranch. There's a lot of different ways you can go with pizza.
Flavor the crust, right?
Parmesan
You know?
cheese to me is a must.
All right.
I won't even take a bite.
Well, think about
now
how many-
knowing that one topping that you could only eat the rest of your life.
Topping.
One topping
pizza?
on a pizza.
Pepperoni.
Other than cheese,
Is
and
cheese
sauce.
default?
Cheese
Mine's,
and sauce are
mine's a little
default.
different.
Yeah.
I'm a mushroom guy.
Oh, you like fungus?
I like
He's
fungus.
had one topping. in
guy.
I like. There's something about the texture, kind of like
Yeah,
the
they're like
anchovies,
boogers.
Mark.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
go
like the-
easy
they're
and
like
say
eating
pepperoni.
boogers,
Yeah.
dude.
Pepperoni.
Sorry.
Pepperoni.
I would do I would do the spicy pepperoni though.
No, you got to do the
little
old, the
boys.
old school ones
The
that
little
curl
boys,
up
yeah.
and, and like little
Mushroom.
cups of
Good
My
Yellow
favorite
boys.
pepperoni
Oh, yeah.
is the it's like a square, like you know what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah, the
like-
one that are like on the French bread pizzas. Yeah. The one time when
Yeah, oh no, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah.
those are good.
All
Those
right,
are good.
all right.
All right, if you had to live in one country other than the United States, where would you live and why?
Mine's easy.
Go ahead.
Well, it's actually two. I love Italy.
Mhm.
You know, that's where we're from.
Yeah.
Our family's from there. I think it's a gorgeous country. Been there
Yeah.
a couple times. But I'm a big Jamaica guy.
You like Jamaica?
I like the water. I like the people.
Really?
The mode.
Yeah.
There's something about Jamaica.
Something
Jamaica's
about
chill.
it, I'm sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good one. Yeah. I would say, again, people are going to think I'm whacked out. My wife from Bulgaria, Eastern Europe.
yeah.
I've traveled there a couple times.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Love it.
Super cheap. It's low key. No one really knows where it's at.
Sounds gorgeous,
It's on the
too.
water.
I saw pictures.
It's
It looks
amazing, man. I'd go there just because she'd be like my tour guide. So
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to people. She talks for me.
you
you
guys
know?
You said, you don't have to talk. You
I
don't
don't
have to
even talk.
even
I'll
listen
sit
to
there. I
people.
got my
That
whiskey.
sounds
They're
nice.
they're talking for, and
You know
it's
what's
nice.
crazy?
It's low key.
There's so many countries that we don't even know the name of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like
yeah.
stars almost. Like
Latvia.
there's like
Yeah.
like
There's a
if
lot,
someone
yeah.
like it said one of these countries' names, you'd be like,
Right.
I don't.
Like, I didn't know-
I'm
And then
sure
they'll like
you've
show you
heard it.
pictures of it, and it's like,
I didn't know
what?
Kazakhstan
How
was
does
a
that
country
even-
until Borat came out.
right,
Right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
thought
you
it was
guys
a made
do
Uzbekistan.
Bulgaria has
Wait,
some crazy like old school traditions and stuff, like especially around weddings. Did you guys do a traditional Bulgarian
We
wedding?
didn't do a traditional one over there. We kind of added some stuff here, but we never did one over there. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know obviously with senior and mom, you guys all, you guys have a really crazy family. Give me
Completely dysfunctional.
Yeah. Give me your favorite Christmas family tradition that you guys do. Yeah.
That's tough.
Well, we
Christmas,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, we do
beat
a
each
big.
other. We first fight in the backyard.
No, we do. The Italian side does a big Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And
Christmas
it's
Eve.
all of our cousins and
Yeah.
our family, and we go over there and we stay late and we drink and we have fun.
Yeah.
And the food, there's always they do a pasta with clam sauce.
Yeah.
And they do that every
Mark's back
Christmas
there.
Eve.
Look at Mark, he's
yeah,
peeking
yeah,
again.
yeah. Yeah.
You know,
So Christmas
we kind
Eve
of play
would
a fun
be-
game too. Everyone brings an anonymous
It's called
gift.
The Game.
It's called the game.
Called The Game.
It's on a timer,
Yeah.
and you roll a dice. Once you have double, you can trade with anyone, and it gets rowdy. And
Roll the
you know,
dice.
there'll be a mystery gift that everyone wants, and then by the time you open it, my uncle Joe,
Poor
it
guy.
was a can of pistachios.
Yeah.
you know, it's like
You're
you know,
not
it's-
supposed. You're supposed
yeah.
to buy a good gift and pay, and people
Someone
don't.
always-
I
someone
get
always
super
brings-
scream doubles,
Yeah.
and people are yelling.
Someone-
that's
We're
awesome.
drunk by
Someone
that point.
always brings
So-
money.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because they forgot to get a gift,
Yeah.
and everyone's trading for that.
No, a
20.
lot of times
yeah.
I'll look at it and be like,
And
this
then-
is not $25. Mine was $25. You know, what,
I don't
what
want
happened?
Some
I
poor
don't
guy
want
gets
that.
like a pack of.
But it's, you know, it's
Yeah.
for fun.
We do that at mine, and someone got a pack of batteries.
Nice.
That's
You know?
horrible.
It's like,
nice.
like-
I'm surprised
Unless you need a
someone hasn't
battery,
got
then
that
it
for
comes in
us.
handy. Yeah.
Yeah. Something else too, just switching gears. We get a lot of, as you know, we deal with a lot of realtors, mortgage professionals. But right now, cannabis
Oh yeah.
in the state of
Yeah.
Michigan, fully recreational, fully medicinal.
And
There's a lot of CPA work that was needed on the applications. CPA work moving forward. That's interesting. Next 4 to 6 years in that industry is going to be
Well,
wild.
they just opened
around
up
here.
banking to them recently. I heard.
Banking's in play. There's some credit
Yeah,
unions that are
it's-
in
it's
play.
wild.
We do a lot of work in that space.
My buddy
too.
out in Colorado's got 5 dispensaries. He told me a story before they could really have banking. He went to the IRS office, directly to the office, because he had $300,000 in cash in a duffel bag. He showed me the picture. He had to sit in a room like the size of this, he said, like tiny. First time he did it, he didn't know, right? He was there for 4 hours while they counted every single dollar in front of
Yeah.
him.
Wow.
happens.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I go, what did you do
It's a
then?
Wolf
It
of
was
Wall
like
Street
the
shit.
the room before they
Yeah.
nabbed Scarface.
We're seeing as soon as we went recreational, because we're 1 out of 12 states that's
Yeah.
fully rec and medicinal. A lot of out of state money, like those Colorado people were like, "Hey, I had 5 dispos over here.
He's got 15
I'm,
licenses
I'm
and stuff."
coming
Yeah.
over here
That's
to
what they're doing.
Michigan." So a lot of out of state money's pouring in. Just again, this economy right now is super strong,
Super healthy. It's
Super
weird. I keep
healthy.
looking for the cracks, and it's like, okay, but dude, it keeps
I always
going.
ask you, Paul,
Yeah.
and you're like, it should, and we're thinking,
But it's
they've
still
been
going.
calling for this crash for the last 4 years.
Yeah,
It's just
dude.
not happening.
Unemployment's still down.
Rates
Yeah.
are low.
Rates are
Values
low.
are high.
Construction's up.
Everything's up, and
Well,
it's like I'm looking.
A
for
year
the
ago, we
cracks.
were like, dude. I mean, a year ago, rates were a full % higher, at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
we thought it was on the way.
Yeah.
it was going to happen at that
and
point.
we thought for sure they'd be another full % higher. Complete opposite happened.
I personally think if we have a change in presidency, it's going to shake things up a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
know
hard
the
to see why you could
reform's
when the
good through
economy is so good
2022,
right
but
now.
yeah, a lot of people say, well, this is what Obama kind of built, and there might be some truth to that.
there's always a
But,
carryover.
the
Yeah.
fact that some of his business decisions that he's made, especially with the reform and some of the economy
Yeah.
decisions,
He's a business
So
guy.
if you come in with a non-business person, that could definitely hurt things. You would think.
right. All of a sudden, you have a socialist or something like that coming.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but
That's
that's
why they're trying to get them all over.
You never know.
It's ever changing.
Yeah.
Ever changing.
Feds Williams sees growth around
Well, I think it's
2%
always
for
important.
2020.
Save your money. You know, save it for
Always
tax, save it for whatever.
That's the thing too. You know, things are going good.
Doesn't
People
matter
like
what the
spending.
economy's doing. Save
You know,
your
it's
money.
always good to treat yourself, but you always got to be prepared. You always
Spending
gotta
is
Always
up.
wait for that rainy day.
Got it.
Spending's up. Our restaurant clients, crazy numbers, and that's great. But again, the realtors, mortgage people, things are good now. Hold on to some of that money because you never
never
know
see it
what's
coming.
I watched it. I worked it a little more than John did. 07, 08, 09, 10. It was really sad.
Yeah.
I had people crying in my office, and I hate that.
Yeah.
But you always got to prepare for a rainy day. You don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it all runs in cycles.
It does.
So say that
It
this
will
thing's going to
happen.
keep rolling, it will happen.
We never
will
got
happen.
John's Christmas tradition. We got
I did. I
Joe's.
said the game.
Yeah, the game.
on New
Oh,
Year's
game.
Eve.
Yeah, what
Yeah, he brought in the
Oh,
game.
my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you, Brad?
I thought that was Joe's because he was talking about it.
Well, we're brothers, you know.
Yeah.
So
We're
have
at the same Christmas.
We have
Yeah.
another minute. You want to ask him another question? Anybody? Got any more questions for him? Any
Sal.
Salvatore, you got
Nah.
something?
No, please
Nah, I'm
don't.
gonna
Don't
keep
do it,
this.
Sal.
Rabid gerbil caged in my head.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably a good
Why don't
one.
you tell the audience how they can get a hold of you guys? Obviously, again, you guys do work across the country. So anybody
Across the
listening-
country,
Yeah.
personal business taxes. I have certified QuickBook Pros. I have paralegals. We can set up
You have a
the
real team.
We can set up entities. We have a payroll department, sales tax department, full blown accounting and tax services. John, why don't you tell?
Yeah, you
where
can,
we
give us a call at our office, 248-649-8720. Go to angelcompany.com.
And that's Angel with two L's. by
Angel
the
with
way.
two L's.
Yeah.
We got a Facebook page. We don't really use it much, but you can go there, find our information.
Do you have a
But,
Snapchat?
I have a Snapchat personally, not for Angel and Company.
What would we do on an Angel Company Snapchat?
I don't.
Boom.
I'm sure it'd be
tax
probably-
code. It could be a little different.
Maybe show the
Yeah.
holes
I'm
in the
sure
wall.
it'd be-
Here's the new 1040 app.
I'm sure it'd be pretty entertaining certain days.
I
It
think
gets a little fiery
you guys
there
could have a
sometimes.
reality TV
I think
show.
you guys should just have
In
cameras
tax
in your
season.
office.
People have
at all
told us-
times.
I
People
think we
told
already
us we
blew it
could
on
make
that-
more money
on a
doing that
reality
than do
show.
what we're doing. Again, 4 Italians, our parents started this complete dysfunction. Complete dysfunction. It really is.
No, it is wild sometimes. Sometimes it's just like.
Do you have a PA system in your office?
Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
mom just talking from
Well,
her
she can
office.
scream. She can scream out, but we do have a conference. Yeah, we can PA. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You guys, by the way, just these guys, you guys get slammed to come taxes. We can't even talk to you.
It's been the
No,
last few years.
we make time now.
You do, you
People
do.
think
But-
it's your busy time. I don't want to bother you. That's a
No,
good
no,
time.
you guys do
That's a
actually
good
that.
We're
time.
always
It's
trying to
never
service everyone,
But we
John,
will get
always.
slammed
You do
here.
get slammed.
This month's been crazy with a lot of
Right.
year-end planning and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And the next 4 months will be wild too.
Yeah.
So
It's wild. So
Tax season started basically October 15th, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Right
it's revved
after-
up,
yeah.
year-end
Yeah.
planning. It's
Yeah.
been pretty constant, man. Our last few years, I mean, we're just knock on wood.
Knock
It's
on wood.
growing, and we appreciate the referrals from you guys. We try to service everyone, you know.
yeah,
And
you guys do a good job, man.
You
You
know,
guys do a really
appreciate
good
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate
really
it.
good job.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's our show.
Cool.
We're done.
cool. Thanks, guys.
I appreciate
Sad.
it.
I know. I want to keep it
Sad.
going.
We just sit here
Let's
the rest
keep
of the
I feel
day.
like we should grab some beers and keep just talking.
Probably pizza. Probably
cut
pizza at this
pizza.
point too.
Let's
Pizza
cut this
and
one,
little
take the
beers.
jackets off so it looks like we changed.
Yeah,
and
do
then
another.
we'll just cut another one.
Hey, we'll do these whenever. They're
That's
fun.
how
I
they
enjoy
do,
it.
Jeopardy
Yeah, I
and
know,
Wheel of
it's crazy.
Fortune. It's all done
they
in
do
like
like
3
3
days.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do like wardrobe trips. All right, guys, we got to go. See you guys later. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
You've been listening to Inside Real Estate, the nation's top real estate podcast. Don't forget to follow us at irepodcast.com and everywhere where podcasts are available.
What do I have this afternoon? I just have a call.
just want to run through.
Yeah, we'll run through it. Whenever.
today, but I
Yeah.
you guys are leaving.
Today might be a